You're live.
It's everything situation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on in the building, you guys. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all of the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, so we're currently going live here on TikTok and YouTube. So if you're not able to get me on YouTube, you can go over there to TikTok. If you're not able to get me on TikTok, you can go over there to YouTube. But I want you guys to please support us on the YouTube channel because we know how TikTok does. All right, so we're going to continue to keep busting you guys upside the head with how to heal yourselves. That's what you get here on the HerbMan Show. I'm your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm your homie HerbMan. We teach people how to heal themselves, and you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we make sure that we teach you about the human frame and the human that you can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness. All right. That's just what we do here on the HerbMan Show. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the free information station. Okay. Free information station. The only way you pay for this information is by simply paying attention. And how you do that is by double tapping the screen, making sure that you get us up to at least 100,000 likes during the live. All right. And that's going to be just your little token of help and support. So we're able to beat the algorithms and get this information out to as many people as possible. Okay. Now, if you are new to the program, once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get into the subject matter at hand. But what we've been teaching you guys for months in and for years now is about this owner's manual, okay? Is about what is a owner's manual. What does an owner's manual do? It serves as a guide. And I really want to focus on service as a guide for you because all of the pieces of equipment you've ever bought in life came with an owner's manual. That owner's manual did the same thing that your owner's manual will do for you, and it will serve you as a guide to what? Optimal performance, longevity, and ultimately, we're going to get the ultimate usage out of that piece of equipment if we go by the owner's manual. And you are no different, my friends. You come into the paradigm with an owner's manual. It is the oldest timekeeping system on the planet. It is the sun. It is the path of the sun. Okay. The oldest timekeeping thing on the planet is following the sun. Now you're going to church today. And we know that you guys, if you're on the northern hemisphere, especially on the East Coast, there you times at 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so that's what we normally come on as. But we're coming live from South Africa right now. So it's between the times of 4 and 6 p.m. here in South Africa. But in North America on the East Coast, it should be between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when you will see the HerbMan Show. All right. So just understanding the path, right? That this is this old timekeeping thing called the path of the sun that we can start to find ourselves within. And you'll understand that even in the biblical times, even in the Bible, when they was reading and they was writing the Bible, they was talking about two paths, right? That you can go down this path of righteousness or you can go down this path of wickedness, right? Even when they were talking about those two paths, they were talking about it as a decision that one has to make. And understanding a path, if you're on a path and you've been spun around and you've been blindfolded, then just think about a person that's trying to be at a pinata, right? And you're trying to make this person walk down the straight and narrow. For the Bible says that the road to righteousness is the straight and narrow path, right? But how I'm gonna walk straight and narrow if you done spun me around and blindfolded me and social engineered me and genetically modified me and took me off of my coordinates so that I could be in tune with nature. Damn, how in the hell will I heal myself? How will I get financial gain? How will I be able to find the right relationship? How will I be able to find the right place on earth and the right place in my community, the right place on the planet? How will I know if this is the right place for my children, the right man for me, the right woman for me? If you done blindfolded me and spunked me all around, how am I going to be able to find my right gifts and my right tools that God created me with? How am I going to be able to get this thing right in this right paradigm? How am I going to get my mind right, my emotions right, my spirit right, my body right? If you done spun me around and you done blindfolded me, how do I find my way back home? How am I going to find my gift, my importance, my purpose if you done spun me and blindfolded me on this life path? So we're understanding that even in the biblical times, we were looking at two particular perspectives because the pathway is not something that's real tangible, more than the pathway is from your perspective. You can only walk through what you see, okay? So the pathway is more about having a double mind, but a double mind creates a dual perspective. And when you are in relationship with self, you can't be double-minded because you only got one self. You can only go in one direction. You can't go backwards while you're going forward, right? So then at the end of the day, you'll understand that I first must get this narrow path. I first must get this which way we gonna go down pack internally first before I'm able to apply this to relationships outside of me. Anything that extends outside of me, I first must internalize it before I can externalize it. So you'll see that you're having problems with these issues externally because you have not gotten the ability yet to hone in on your giftings internally. You can't figure out how to heal your relationship with somebody else when you ain't healed it with you. You still fight between me, myself, and you still dueling with me, myself, and I. You're still tossing to and fro with me, myself, and I. You in yourself is double-minded, is double-eyed, is double perspective. You cross-eyed it even within you. So then how is you gonna fix something outside of you? You don't have the blueprint. So what we're teaching people is that this path is none other than the perspective. You got two perspectives. And that's why the pituitary gland is just as important as the pineal. Now, they've been teaching you about the pineal for so long that you just got a whole dynamic of what the pineal is, but you don't know nothing about pituitary. It's the same thing of what we've been telling you about crossing over into Jordan. Crossing over into Jordan, crossing over into the promised land. When the Red Sea parted, all of this was talking about a journey from the left side, from the masculine energy on over to the feminine energy. That's all it was talking about. Crossing over Jordan is right here in the center of this particular thing. It's the balance. It's when you're crossing over from the right, from the spiritual, from the physical masculine energy side to your feminine energy side, not because you want to be a woman, not because this is about a species, but we're talking about an energy, intuitiveness, creativeness, imaginative power, your holiness, your holistic perspective all lies on your right side. So when we're talking about going to the promised land, when we're talking about this thing about Eve, when we're talking about this thing about women, and when we're talking about this thing about femininity, and when we're talking about this thing about feminine energy, this ain't really about the woman, the species, more than it's about the feminine energy. And what comes in this feminine energy is your healing, is your nurturing, is your rejuvenation. This is where it's at. Now, here's the thing. When we're talking about up in the most high, we tend not to talk about pituitary being up here too. So these are your two perspectives. Remember that pituitary is about your third eye. Your third eye is about how you view things, your vantage point. Your third eye is about how you view things. It's your vantage point, right? So remember that I told you that these two roads, the roads of righteousness, the path of wickedness, is all about perspective more than anything else. How do you view this paradigm? How do you view your purpose? How do you view your calling? How do you view your reasoning for being here? If we can't up the ante on how you value yourself being in this paradigm, then unfortunately we can't give you what you actually will require in order to get into your healing mindset, in order to eradicate death consciousness. All of this, it ain't nothing but a sound wave. It ain't nothing but the ecliptic of the sun. It ain't nothing but a vibration. It ain't nothing but a frequency. So when you keep asking me, how do you raise your frequency? How do you get to your most high? How do you get into your higher self? Is you have to vibe high. And how do you vibe high? You have to get this thing to understand it is four-part harmony, like five heartbeats. Like the five heartbeats, right? It is four-part harmony. Now I'm gonna keep this up here, but remember that everything is a season. We have an infantry season where we're learning, growing, and developing. We have an adolescent season when we think we the hot shit. We have an adult season when we're being responsible, taking care of business. We have an elder statesman season in life. That's when we're high on our horse. That's when we've been able to be skillful at what it is that we're doing, right? But you also have these same things in these four dynamics. Now I'm gonna erase all of this, and I know y'all gonna get mad at me when I do, but I'm gonna erase all of this, you guys. If you are interested in the owner's manual, please DM me, and we'll get you the information that you need. But for a funky measly $50, you're getting all of this information about yourself in your manual. Okay, it is the best thing you can do. It's actually for the healthy, but it'll definitely do you some justice if you are sick and in need of some natural remedies. Okay, and it's going to be a specific to who you are. Okay, so you can't go give your owner's manual to somebody else and help that it work. Everybody get their own thing. It is non-invasive, non-intrusive. Okay, we're not gonna poke you, we're not gonna prod you, we're not gonna prick you. All right, we don't need a blood type, we don't need no blood sample, we don't need no urine sample, we don't need no stool sample, no hair sample, we don't need no urine sample, no saliva sample. We don't need nothing but your little birthday because that is when you were recorded in time and space. We don't need the time you were born, we don't need the location, we don't need none of that. We just need a birthday. And you let Mama Nature do the rest. So for a funky measly $50, that's what we're presenting to you. Okay? That's what we're presenting to you. It's two rows. Let's talk about the path. Two rows. All right. Y'all with me? What's up, YouTubers? How y'all doing over there? Y'all with me? Let's go. Okay. So just like it has four seasons, right? So you got fire, you got air, you got earth, and you got water. Okay. The same thing happens with this vibing high, with this trying to get your vibrations up. To get your vibrations up, meaning that your finances are going to come to flourishing. To get your vibration up, meaning that opportunity is going to start coming and you're going to start hitting it when it comes. To get your vibrations up, meaning that you're going to be able to have the ability to heal yourself. But here is the thing. If your body is physically weak, when you ask your body to heal you, what does it have to do that? Let me ask you guys this question really quick before we go further. If your body is weak, let's say right now you're on dialysis and chemotherapy. Let's say just off right now you're in the late stage, maybe you're stage 4 or 5 kidney disease, so you're on dialysis. You're stage 4 or 5 cancer, right? So you're on chemotherapy, you're doing radiation, all of that. How strong do you think your body is? Put some ones in the chat if you think you got a strong body. Put some twos in the chat if you think you got a weak body. Okay. My dialysis patients, right now, if you're a CKD, stage 4 or 5, that means you're on dialysis. If you're a stage 4 or 5 cancer, that means you got terminally ill cancer. You're doing chemo, you're doing all this stuff. How strong are you really? If you say you're very strong, put some ones in the chat. If you say you're very weak, put some twos in the chat. Somebody got a one right there, so that's an abnormal one, but that's a good thing. For the most of you guys, you put twos in the chat. Okay, so that means that you have a weak body, right? Right? That means you have a weak body. How can you ask a weak body to strengthen you? Where is the strength going to come from? Where is the strength going to come from if your body is weakened and you need for it to be strong to heal you? Where's that going to come from? Anybody know? Empress Joyce said herbs. Good answer, but wrong answer. Okay. Good answer, but wrong answer. User 1807 said nature. Good answer, but wrong. Empress Joyce said faith. That's the second good answer you gave, but it's still wrong. Okay. Strong but nerve pain. I don't know what you're talking about. That's the question. That's how you get my attention by participating. Exercise. Somebody said God, thoughts, mind. Tell me the sun, thoughts. Okay. So, in other words, the energy is going to come from the spiritual side of you. If you are in the physical weakness, you got another part to you, spiritual. That's why you can't really, you got to understand what a diagnosis does to you. Diagnosis ain't just about telling you information about your body. Diagnosis is information that has a frequency, and that frequency lowers your expectations of living. That frequency lowers your expectation. So, what does that diagnosis do to you? It brings your not only physical energy. Look, the chemo and the radiation and the dialysis is gonna bring you down physically. You ain't gotta worry about that part. But the diagnosis brings you down spiritually. Okay. And that's why your doctor shouldn't be no different than your pastor, and your pastor shouldn't be no different than your doctor. But because as long as you keep going to separate people, separating you, then you stay fragmented. You stay being treated fragmentedly. Just think about it. If I got a whole body pain, but you only gonna do my knee for right now. My whole body is in pain, but you only gonna work on my knee. Am I still in pain or not? My whole body is in pain, but you finna just work on my knee because that's all you know how to do. Am I still in pain or not? Yes, in other places. Because you don't know how to work on me in a total holistic way. So you're keeping me out there to dry. If you are physically weak, you got to tap into your spiritual energy to heal you, to help you heal, and to bring your energy up. If you are spiritually weak, you got to be physically strong to help this spirit come up. The body helps the mind helps the body. It is when duality begins to start working in a unison. Okay? It is when duality starts working in a unison. So now, what is fire? So you got four dynamics to what you got to tap into to raise your vibration. We've been talking about thought, we've been talking about feeling, and we've been talking about action. We're gonna add one more here today. So thought would be what? Your fire. Okay? Thought would be your fire. Okay? Air would be your what? Your beliefs. Okay? Air is gonna be your beliefs. All right. Can y'all see that? Everybody can see that. Let me know if you can see it. Put some ones in the chat. If you guys can see it, keep tapping. I'll keep talking, you guys. Let's get us up to 100K. All right. Now the earth is gonna be your actions slash behaviors, and then water, we're gonna make this our feelings. Okay. So here it is. I have the four things that can raise or lower my energy that's going to get me to be able to either be double-minded. Just think about these two eyes not being able to see it is this something the same way. A double-minded, double perspective. You can't never get far. One minute you want to walk long, and the next minute somebody tell you go make a right, make a left. You're so questioning everything. You're so insecure in this particular dynamic. You're insecure. See, you sick right now, but you're so insecure that you don't believe that you could be healed. So you go and get codependent on unnatural things like a man, like a doctor. That's an unnatural thing. But he's put like this: they working with unnatural things, right? So you are so you're so conflicted, so powerless over the cancer, over the bad kidney, over the bad heart. You're so powerless over the skin issue. Eczema just wreaking havoc over your baby. Autism taking over. You got 3 kids with autism. You don't know how the hell they getting it. Your reproductive system ain't working no more. And you 20 and your reproductive system don't work. You 70 and your reproductive system ain't working. You getting uteruses taken out. You getting breasts taken off. You getting testes taken out. You getting all these body parts, gallbladder getting coming up out of there, the thyroid coming up out. You see, because you are conflicted, it is because you are insecure. You don't have any security of knowing that I can deal with this problem and eradicate it. Oh, I got Crohn's disease. They said I'm gonna have it for the rest of my life. You will with that mindset. They said I got AIDS. I'm gonna have this for the rest of my life, and you will with that mindset. Oh, they said that most folk don't live to be no more than 75 to 80 years old, and you gonna die with that consciousness because it's in your consciousness. In your consciousness, you bring the reality. What we're trying to do here on the HerbMan show is reveal something else to your consciousness. We're trying to detain you long enough to enter you, just like all entertainment will do. If you didn't know the word, the etymology of entertain is to detain you long enough to enter to you, right? So all this stuff you see on social media, you're seeing on the newspaper, the radio, the TV, anything that you see marketing to you is vying for your mind's time. Why are we vying for your mind's time? Because way back on in the Garden of Eden, we realized that where the mind gets, the body will follow. Thoughts entered into the mind. Thought is the serpent. Entered into the mind, which is Eve, and the body followed, which was Adam. So we know when you get the mind, you get the body. Even your baby know that. Your little bit of 1, 2 year old baby know that if they can cry long enough to get your attention, then they got your body. If I can cry long enough to get mama just to come over here to see what I need, I can't speak as a baby. I'm 3 weeks old. I'm 4 weeks old. How does the baby communicate? Through howling and crying. And it's gonna be a few hollers and cries that they start to realize that you panic. I can get you with this holler. I get your attention and I get your company. All I wanted was mom's warm embrace, mom's warm embrace, mom's cuddling, mom's nurturing, mom's attention. And a baby know how to do whatever they got to do that gets mama attention. Because when I get mama mine, if I can just get mama to hear this cry, I get mama to be by my side. When the mind goes, the body will go. So therefore, because this has been off science since the beginning, you're reading a 2,000-year-old book that you're about to go to church to read today, right? They've been knowing how to get into your damn head. The Garden of Eden, the snake is the thought, Eve is the mind, Adam is the body. They've been knew about the mind. They've been knew about this type of stuff. That's why he wrote on the walls to know thyself. So that we as a modern species can start to learn the dynamics of the mind. So now you got thought, you got beliefs, you got your you got your actions and behaviors, and you got your feelings. Okay, all of this stuff happens before the earth element pops out. Like I teach people every day here, in order to plant a seed in the ground, the seed must be underground for at least 3 days. When you plant a seed in the dirt, If you plant it in the sand, you plant it in the dirt, you plant it in some growing medium, whatever the case may be, when you're planting a seed, normally it's going to take about 3 days plus to be under the dirt. When it's under the dirt, all that the seed is getting is earth and water. That's when it's underground. Okay? That's when it's underground. So when my thoughts, when my ideas, when my imaginations, when they first start to fester, they are what we would call being underground. They're in the mind's tomb. They're only going to be required to have some actions and behaviors and some feelings that will water a seed. A seed is an idea. Look at a baby. When a baby is formulated, it's coming from an action. Mama and daddy got to sleep with each other. They got to create the action with the feelings because you can't sleep with nobody that you don't like. Okay, so the feelings was in it. Mom and daddy them did the do, and then the seed is planted underground, internally, something that you can't see. It's underground in the womb, in the belly, in the mind. The womb down here is the same as the womb up here. This one down here can create a life, while this one up here can't do the same thing. So you got two wombs of creation. Okay, two wombs of creation, one in the lower self, one in the higher self. But at the first essence of function, of planting the seed, of before it even become out, so everybody can see it's something tangible. So the baby, before the baby get here, it's underground. It's underground and it's being fed by my actions and by my feelings. And then after about 3 days to a week, depending on what type of seed it is, it begins to start to penetrate the dirt. It starts to come above ground. When it comes above ground, then it requires thought and belief. Okay? Thought and belief is a above ground thing. Thought and belief is an above ground thing. It's when the plant requires fire and air, sun, and oxygen now. Now, when the plant gets above water, it requires all four elements. It requires thought, belief, actions, and feelings to keep it growing. Down, all four of these is going to keep it growing down and also up. The further a plant, the further a tree, the further it grows its roots. The deeper the roots, the higher the fruits. The deeper the roots, the higher the fruits. The deeper the roots, the higher the fruits. In essence, the deeper the roots, the taller the tree. In all of its glory, in all of its ambiance is basking in. But underground, there's some things that need to be done. There's some feelings that need to be had so that when something is produced above ground, then everything that it needs is with it. The thought, the beliefs, the actions, the feelings all coincide with making this thing grow deeper and grow higher. And that's how you produce finances. That's how you produce wealth. That's how you produce everything you desire in this paradigm. I just told you that. These are the four things that are required on the path. Now, a lot of times what happened is the double-mindedness come in that because your thoughts and beliefs are the same, but your actions and feelings are not. Your actions and feelings are the same, but your thoughts and beliefs are not. So you can't never get on the right track, which means you can't ever activate the healing of thyself. Anybody else? Anybody else right now? Anybody got any questions thus far? You keep tapping, I'll keep talking. All right. So when we're on this YouTube, we are showing some receipts here. So if you guys want to go real quick to the scripture, we're coming out of Psalms 119 and 105. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Your word is a lamp to my feet, light to my path. My word should be a lamp to your feet and a light unto your path. What you're seeing here should come in your head. This is the way. Every time stamp in human history had an earth. Okay. Every time stamp in human history, we've had an earth. Okay. There's always been somebody who can talk to nature. I'm no different. All we do is take your birthday and go back to talk to nature about the person born on that day because we know that nature has its own record keeping of everything that ever existed on this planet. And this is the old ancestral way of being able to understand what Mama Nature says about her children. So we've been doing this. We're just doing it with a birthday. But at the end of the day, I'm showing you the ecliptic of the sun. I'm showing you the sound wave. I'm showing you yin and yang. I'm showing you masculine and feminine. I'm showing you these things to allow you to understand that, yes, they've been teaching you this stuff, chakras and all this stuff, but you have to find a way to put it all together. And when you're coming on the HerbMan show, hopefully you'll see that my word should be as a lamp unto your feet and a light unto your path, so that this thing can start to illuminate to you that when you're doing this, when you're getting your honest manual, when you have this in your possession, that's when you are following the path of God. That's when you are following the Son of God. That's when you now have the ability to intertwine yourself with nature and get in tune with nature in the most valuable way possible. And you have this all at your fingertips. You don't have to keep showing up at my little fish shack. I'm gonna teach you how to fish. I don't want to see you every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at my church. We're gonna teach you how to fish. I don't want to see you every Monday through Saturday at my fish stand. We're gonna teach you how to fish. And so for your little funky measly $50, we teaching you how to fish so that you don't have to keep going back. So you don't have to keep coming back. Time to now start to activate this power within you. And we want to show you how to do that. So this is what you're supposed to get out of this, right? Yet your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. What is that path? Let's keep it moving. All right, YouTube, we're gonna go to another one here. Um, this other one here comes from Psalm 25, 4 and 5. It says, show me your ways, Lord. Teach me your paths. Guide me in your truth and teach me, God Savior, and my hope is in you all day long. And on this picture, you'll see nothing more than the sun. Show me your ways. Teach me your path. In your truth and teach me. Guide me in your truth and teach me. Remember that the owner's manual is a guide. Show me your ways, Lord. Teach me your path. This is what you're not getting when you're going to church in a few minutes. But you think you're getting it. But you walk in with high blood pressure, you leave out with high blood pressure. You walk in on the brink of divorce, you leave out knowing good well you about to go get one now. You walk in now with AIDS, you leave out with AIDS. You walk in now with cancer, you leave out of there with cancer. You walk in now worried and frustrated, you leave out of there with that same worry and frustration because you didn't have no money for bill and you ain't a member of the church. So guess what? They didn't give you no bill money. So you still scrambling for money for your bill, even though you went to the storehouse. When you go to the storehouse, they're supposed to have some stuff stored up for you, regardless if you added something into the pot or not. Look here, I got so much money, regardless if you paid into my shit or not, I give you something. Come on now, y'all, look here, man. I got so much money in my pocket that regardless if you put some money in my pocket or not, I got enough to give folk who helped me and folk who didn't. That's what you call a storehouse. You ain't got to be no member to get nothing up out this pot. You're a member of the family of humanity. So we got somebody that needs to show us the real way, teach us the real path, Guide us in the real truth and teach me. For you are God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long. Okay. So now you start seeing what's going on in this thing here. Now, YouTube, now we're showing them the brain. Okay. We're showing them the brain. Now, the reason why I'm showing you the brain, because these are the two paths. You can either go on there down there to that city and work, or you can be off into nature and work. You can go on down there and be stressed out, or you can go on and do something less stressful. Okay? It's your choice. You can go chase the bag, or you can let the bag chase you. It's your choice. Now look at what we're looking at. Right? Look at what we're looking at from the masculine and feminine principle. Everything that you need is on the right brain. I'm talking about for your healing. I'm talking about healing your finances and healing your relationship and healing your body on the right side. I'm talking about your healing, healing your finances and healing your relationships and healing your body is on the right side. The damage that you did to your brain, the relationships, and your body is on the left side. And it's just because the only reason you damage it is not because it's of masculine energy. Masculine energy is not bad. The only reason you're damaging yourself with masculine energy is because you are excessive because you don't know how to cross over. The 10% of your brain, and that's what they say we're working with. The 10% is what the Bible is calling for. Your tithing of your 10% is saying, give me back that little 10% so I can show you more. I got more to offer you than just that 10% in your brain. And that's why your little healing powers be sputting. They be putting, put, like a little putt. You know, you can heal when you're young, but you can't heal when you're old. It's putt. It used to work. I used to be able to soak my knee in something here and the swelling go down, but now it won't do it no more. I used to be able to take half a pill, blood pressure get back, but now it won't do it no more. So now your healing powers are starting to putt, which means that your physical energy is starting to evaporate. When your physical energy starts to go down, you only got one way to heal yourself. That's spiritual. And that means that you have to have an ability to connect the dots. You got to have an ability to cross over. You have to have an ability to activate the spiritual consciousness of yourself when your physical body can't do it any longer. Now, is another problem is when you get your owner's manual, we're going to eradicate this problem. But when you get your owner's manual, another problem is that you don't know where you are, so you don't know what's required from you at different points in your life. Okay. Now, point in case, I'm finna do somebody real quick. And I'm gonna show y'all what I mean by that. When you don't know where you are, you can exasperate too much energy from a particular source or pool that you don't supposed to exasperate. And when it calls for it in the next paradigm of life, you ain't got nothing left. Okay? You ain't got nothing left. You see what I'm saying? So real quick, let's see. Let's do somebody. I don't want to do people that's already been on here. If you've been on here, I appreciate the love, but y'all need to go get somebody new. Okay? Y'all job is to go get new folk. Don't be on here all day, every day trying to soak up this like you don't know what to do by now. Y'all done been on here long enough to start putting this stuff in practicality. Start to applying this information. Okay. Look, it's one thing to get information, it's another to do application. The real true wisdom you're gonna get out of this is to utilize it, is to do it. Okay, for a funky measly $50, you get everything in your own hands and you become your own health advocate. You don't need me no more. It'll give you the herbs, it'll give you the foods that you need, it's gonna give you the activities that you need to do to manage yourself, it's gonna give you the spiritual tendencies, the physical tendencies. It's going to tell you about your two sons. Everybody have two sons. It's going to tell you about your dual characteristics. It's going to tell you about, it's going to have this picture here that you're going to get in your owner's manual. So it's going to track you. It's going to have your own global positioning system. Okay, where you get to figure out where you at in life. And then once you start to realize where you at in life, now the whole thing is the vibe at the level you're at. The whole thing is now is to synchronize with nature. Once I put you back on the track and make a sale, Now it's all about synchronicity. Okay? You know, once I speed you up to what a song really is, then you gotta get on beat. You gotta get on beat. Okay. My second time seeing you, I followed a few weeks ago. Yes, sir. We are live from South Africa, you guys. We're coming live from South Africa. Again, this is a world message. Okay, world message. I got several herbs from Roadside Place, and I have sage and all kinds of interesting. Okay, you just gotta know how to work them. You know what I mean? You gotta know how to work them, right? Yes, we're in South Africa, Miami. We're in South Africa. Okay. Empress Joy, Leon Rowe, I appreciate y'all, but y'all be coming on here all the time. Let's get some new people to chime in. All right. And what I'm looking for is a sick person. Okay. A person that's sick, that just scrolling on social media, don't know what to do about their sickness. It just happened to stop and see me for the first time or maybe for a few times, but you're just needing more convincing that you can do the thing that you've been thinking about. You've been thinking that you can heal yourself. You've been thinking that you can do this, that you can get off medications, that you can really rejuvenate them kidneys, that you could really get off dialysis, that you could really cure your AIDS, that you could really cure herpes. You've been figuring, you've been digging with your claws, and you've been having your books deep down in, I mean, your head in the books, and you've been burying your head in the sand, studying and understanding that there is a component to the body that can heal, and you just trying to figure out how to do it. You stopped in that right place. If it's you that I'm talking to, please put your birthday in the chat, and we'll go ahead and just show you a quick synopsis of what this does. All right. So Bob White. Okay, Bob White. I do old school. So 2562. Okay, so Bob, your manufacturing date. Okay, your manufacturing number is 2562. Okay, that's your manufacturing date. All right, that's your manufacturing date. Okay. Now, the fact that you're 2562, you know that 121 to 221 is gonna make you a what? 121 to 221 is gonna make you an Aquarius. Okay, Bob, you're an Aquarius. The biggest thing here, Bob, that you're seeing right now is that wherever you begin is where you should end up. So when you're walking through this life path, when you're following the path of righteousness, the son of righteousness, when you're following the Son of God, you got to know that GPS gives you two things: current location and your destination. Your destination is already accumulated by your manufacturing date, aka your birthday. So we already got destination. Also, by your birthday, we can now start to pinpoint where you currently are, Bob White. And now let me show you that. All right. Let me show you that. Get my light going real quick so we can make sure everybody can visually see all of this stuff here. All my YouTubers, everybody good to go. Put some ones in the chat if you guys can see pretty good. 2562. Okay. So being born in 62, you automatically know that you had a birthday here. So you're 63 years old, right? 63 years old, Bob. So now let's just track you and see where you at in this wheel of life, all right, on the path. 10. Each zodiac is 10 years. Each zodiac represents a life lesson. That life lesson lasts 10 years. Okay. Each zodiac represents 10 years. Each zodiac represents a life lesson. That life lesson lasts 10 years. So 10, you got to also quantify the one that you're in. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 3, right? 63. So you are currently right here in Leo. Okay. You're currently right here in Leo. In Leo, Bob, is a time of your life where actually it probably should be one of the most abundant time in your life. But you're the shit right now, Bob. Even though you're 63, you're the shit in skill. You're also very creative. This is also this childlike era with you, to where even though you remember I told you guys about the infantry and the adolescent. So Bob, even though you're 63, you're in your adolescence phase. So you got this childlike energy, right? This, even though you're 63, you got this adolescence phase to you, to where you got a young spirit. Okay, young spirit. A lot of folk don't know. Now, on top of that, you're also at the physical. Okay, this is the body over here. Okay, and this is the mind or the spirit. I'm gonna put the spirit. Okay, you got body, you got spirit. So this is also a time in your life, Bob, to where there's more physical fitness required. This is a physical fit time in your life. Okay. If y'all follow Bob, I don't know who that is, but Bob just chimed in and said, I do feel like that. You do feel youthful, right? Youthful. But this is a physical fit time in your life, Bob. So what I'm trying to get you to see when I say physical fit is that this time is requiring for you to be physically in your body healthy, healthy. And if you aren't physically fit, you won't make it through. Now you already at Leo right here. But now when you come through this transition, which will be in another 10, 15 years, okay, then you're going to come into your spiritual side of time. Now, when you get into this spiritual side of time in your walk on this path, then you must know that this time requires less physical or spiritual. If you come over here running that body, you're going to run it out. If you come over here running that body in a spiritual time, you're going to run your body out. You won't make it to 120 years, and you then still don't know the keys to everlasting life. The reason why they say you come back all the time is because nobody's been teaching us this. We've been doing death after death after death after death after death after death and having to come back and reincarnate because what is the message that everybody say you're supposed to know? Everlasting life. You don't went down there to that church this morning or about to go and read about everlasting life, but ain't nobody done it yet. Aha, introducing your homie HerbMan. We're teaching you how to eradicate the death consciousness. The more you put into your mind that you can live forever and that your value is supposed to be of that thing, then you understand how to preserve body, understanding that body is needed to be preserved in order for spirit to be elevated to the point. You have the root, this is the body. The root has to be just as strong as the growing or the tall of the tree. So when I want to get to my most high state, then I must also understand that I got to dig. Y'all keep tapping, man. I'll keep talking. Once I get to 50K, I'll come back. All right. I ain't gonna play with y'all today. If you're interested in your owner's manual, please DM me. We'll get you the information that you need. All right. But we're not gonna play with y'all today. See, some of y'all don't know how to grow something. And that's why your ass is broke because they're going to school and school has been teaching you something that you didn't even know you needed. They've been teaching you things that you think you need and not teaching you something that you didn't even know you need. And that's how to grow something. That's how to produce. You keep having babies by mistake. You don't know that 1 + 1 = 2. You don't know that if you go in there with some actions of laying down and you got some feelings involved, that a seed can be planted. So why is it a mistake? You don't know by now that the ingredients for creating a life is the action of sleeping with somebody that I got feelings for can plant a seed. So if you just realize the same thing that goes in the seed of healing, same thing that goes into producing financial wealth. Can you grow the idea? Can you take care of the idea? If you are a pet lover, you've shown that you can take care of an idea. Long as the pet didn't die the puppet, it went from puppet to grown, you got the capabilities. If you got a baby that went from a baby and now that baby grown, you've shown that you have the ability to grow a thing. Then why are you poor? And why are you sick? When it's the same exact energy to growing your wealth and to growing your health. Why are you, what are we talking about here, y'all? Why in the fuck are y'all still scrolling on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram trying to find secrets to healing? You don't know how to produce, you don't know how to make something. Yes, you do. But because you done made this sickness, you don't know how to make healing. Because while you're asking for a depleted energy to re-energize itself, and I'm teaching you how to tap into that other thing in you to do it. When the gas tank is empty, you got to push the car. When the gas tank is empty, you got to push the car. That means that it's gonna require your fuel. It's gonna require a whole nother energy, whole nother force to move the car. So when your body is depleted because of dialysis, when it's depleted because of chemo and radiation, when it's depleted because of just the mere fact of the diagnosis you've received, you got to tap into something else. It requires another force, another type of fuel to move the car now, to move sickness out the way. And this is what we're teaching you with your funky measly $50 on its own. How to do it, how to activate it. But you must work it as one. You must work it as one. All right. So if you want to get to your most high state, then you must be able to get rooted and grounded. You must know how to use your lower state to push you and thwart you to your most highest state. You must learn how to use your lower state, or at least understand how to use your lower state, so you'll see the influence that the lower state has on the higher state. So you can see the value of the body and the mind. Adam is a value. Eve is too. The lower self is of value. The higher self is too. Stop trying to come into this paradigm and leave your body. I want to leave my body. Everybody want to go to heaven, but don't nobody want to die. But then you got the young folks trying to astroplane. I want to leave my body. Why you want to leave it? You need to learn how to take care of it. If you learn how to take care of it, it'll take care of you. Your spirit is housed in what? What is your spirit housed in? Anybody know? What is your spirit housed in? Does anybody know? It says that the spirit is in the temple. What is the temple? What is your spirit housed in? Thank you, Miami. Thank you, Miami. It's housed in your body. How are you gonna get spiritually high if you're not physically high? How you gonna get financially rich if your body ain't doing the things that it takes to get rich? How you gonna get to the astral plane if your body is heavy laden with sicknesses and heavy foods and worryation that is on the body, that's heavy on the mind? Then how do you elevate when you got a heavy body, heavy mind, and a heavy spirit? How you gonna leave it? How you gonna do it, y'all? You got all the weight of the world on your mind. You gaining weight physically in your body. You got weight of stress on your spirit. And you talking about elevating. Shit me. You got things hooked up to you to where it's physically drawing chemicals and toxins out of your body via dialysis. It's chemically drawing toxins and chemicals out, fluids out of your body via chemo and radiation. And you think that what I'm trying to get you to see is, in order for you to be able to run this race, you must know how to work both of them in tandem. Again, also Bob White, you were born in the middle deacon of Aquarius. So the biggest things that I want you to look at, and the biggest things I want you to focus on when you're talking about the middle deacon of Aquarius, Bob White, your legs, okay? Your legs and your blood, Bob White. Okay. If you still here, Bob White, I know I got off track a little bit. It's because you free, right? If you want it paid for, you want me to pay attention to you, that's the $50. But Real quick, your legs, okay? Something about your legs and something about your blood, Bob White. Make sure that you keep those intact. I don't know if you've recently had some leg issues or just chronic leg issues over time, but you're prone to those things. You have a tendency to have leg problems. You have a tendency to have blood problems. Does that mean that you're going to have them? No, but that means that you got a tendency. Next, Bob White, is your model number, okay? Your model number is very, very important because every owner's manual got a manufacturing date and a model number. There are about 12 to 13 different species of human beings on the planet. I'm the first one to say it, but I'm also the first one to show you the difference in what I'm talking about. I can show you that there's different people. Okay? Now, right here, we know that Bob is an Aquarius and the Leo. So Aquarius and the Leo, we already got your two sun signs. Okay? So if you're an Aquarius, that means that you're an air. And then the Leo in you is the fire. Okay. Then your element, the one thing that you can work with while you're in this paradigm to help you along your way, Bob, is gonna come from your model number. So 2 plus 5 is 7. Okay. 2 plus 5 equals 7. So for the first two numbers, we got 7 right? 2 is 18. 8 plus 1 is 9. 7 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. So Bob, you are model number 7, which is going to make you a water element. So here it is that you are an Aquarius that likes to play with the water, likes to be around beaches, like to talk to yourself when you bathe, when you shower, just affinity for water. You don't even know why you've had an affinity for water being an air sign. You are an Aquarius that can deal with the water. Bob, I just watch Bob talk. While I'm talking, I don't know who Bob is. All right. So your element is water, Bob. So now when you're manifesting, when you're meditating, when you're praying, have water around you, have water running in the background. Something about water you want to add to your prayer life, to your meditative life, and also to just your understanding that can help you grant your opportunities. Okay. Now that model number 7. Also, now when we go back down to them chakras, is also telling me what chakra that you might want to make sure that you look around, and that's the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland we just talked about is about perspective. It's about growth and development. So you'll see, Bob, that if you're having pituitary gland issues, first of all, watch your eyes. Okay. Watch your eyes, all right? Because it's about perspective. Okay? Secondly, Bob, the pituitary gland is about growth and development. So you can be bald head, Bob. You can have a whole bunch of hair. You can be very tall. You can be very short. You can have short feet, small feet. You can have tumors. You can have acne, just things growing on your body all the time. Why? Because you got the pituitary gland thing on them. Okay? Bob White said, y'all what? What we talking about, Bob? What should I look at with model number 11? Water. So model number 11 is water as well. So some of the same things. Okay. Well, water as well. But because water breaks down, 11 breaks down to 2. Yours, because it's a 2, is going to be directly at the gonad. So watching your reproductive health. Okay. Watching your reproductive health there, Monissa, is going to be yours. Where his is water, but it's 7, the pituitary gland, cancers, tumors, growth issues, things of that nature may be very, very big for him. And another thing too, Bob, is spiritually is going to be delusion and loneliness. Having this delusion that you're lonely, that you're walking through this paradigm, that nobody understands you, nobody gets you, nobody believes you, nobody is there with you, for you. That is a delusional thing that the enemy wants you to think. And the enemy is not a demon. The enemy is the other side of the brain that only wants the one side that's in control to control. Okay. Your masculine energy does not want your feminine energy to control it. Your feminine energy ain't gonna want your masculine energy to control it. So therefore, we tend to find that we have asexual thoughts. When masculine energy does something, it's not requiring feminine energy to reproduce this thought. But we need for them to convert. We need for them to intercourse to make my thoughts. I don't want an asexual baby in my mind because it's not how it's supposed to be designed. Remember, the whole goal is to get two things to operate as one. within you, then we can start doing relationships. It ain't nothing but men and women in any species on the planet. You got male and female trees, male and female creatures, male and female fishes, male and female animals, and male and female men and women on this planet. It ain't nothing but a male and a woman. We got to figure out what the purpose is. And I'm telling you that internally, the purpose is, your goal is, the job is, can you get the two dueling powers within you to operate as one? If you can, then it's easy for you to do it in relationship. Okay? It's easy for you to do it in the physical if you can do it in the spiritual. Right? So that's the stuff that we got to understand as we go through this paradigm. Any questions thus far? Any questions thus far? Let me get this off my screen. Any questions thus far? Bob said, hard for me to trust. I am feeling that way. Yeah, don't let that. That's a delusion. Remember that the root word for delusional is deluge, water. So you can be prone to also glaucoma, cataracts, Bob, right? Because it's the pituitary, is when you allow that water to clog and fog your perspectives. The pituitary gland is what we talked a while ago. Okay. So that's what you got to understand. And that's just a little something when we come to the model numbers that we can start to pinpoint out little things that need to be taken care of. I go live every day from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are coming live from South Africa. So, and then Bob White just said right there, cataracts I do have. Damn, that's it. Every disease has a spiritual implication. Do you know yours? If you don't, come to the HerbMan show to start figuring these things out. If you guys need further help, DM us and let us get you the information that you need for your owner's manual. It is a $50, but it's going to be the best investment that you've ever made for yourself, your children, and all of your loved ones. You can treat this as a birthday gift, Christmas gifts, just loving on you gift. It's Father's Day, Mother's Day. I thought you should have your owner's manual. And just start to allow people to at least get the blueprint on what it requires for them to get back into balance. Period. Okay. Period. So you see, we hit a lot of stuff on the head with Bob. Okay. A lot of stuff on the head. Now I'm gonna do Catman just because he's right here with Bob. The only reason I'm gonna do Catman is because he's right here with Bob, and I want to show y'all the difference between Bob and Catman. All right. Now Catman was born in 1958. So he 214, 1958. This is 62. So these people are 4 years away from each other. Catman, are you on the block? You ready? 214, 58. Catman, are you ready? Now I'm gonna show you really quick how these people are the same thing, but they're different. And this is the valuability of modern medicine. This is why we need something else. And nature provides not only that something else, but I think the best representation that we can possibly get for our health needs and health concerns. 214.58. So we know that 121 to 221 is the same thing. It's an Aquarius, right? 58 years old. I mean, born in 1958. This individual is going to be what? 67, right? This is a 67-year-old. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 7. Both of y'all are in the same place in Leo, Catman. Okay? Both y'all in the same place in Leo. Same place in life. That don't mean you the same motherfucker though. Let's keep it going. Okay? 2 plus 14 is 16. 6 plus 1 is 7. Okay? So we got the 7 out of these two numbers right. Now we got 15 plus 8. 15 plus 8 is normally going to be 23. So that's 2 plus 3 equals 5. 5 and 7 is going to give us 12. 2 and 1 is going to give us 3. Off the bat, same people, 4 years apart, different specs. Catman, are you a man as well, Catman? Catman, are you a man as well? I don't want to call you no man. Catman said, yes, I'm a man. So two brothers, 4 years apart, same signs, different model of men. 4 years apart, and they ain't the same brothers. They both are Aquarius Leo. They both are Aquarius Leo, but they ain't the same brother. Because this Bob was an Aquarius that was a water element, and guess what? Catman is an Aquarius. That's a fire element. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is why I love this shit. This is why I'm on here every day trying to teach you guys about this. Okay. Now off the rip, this let me know that based on the 214, so you a third deacon Aquarius, right? So a third deacon Aquarius, Catman got to worry about movements. Okay, you got to worry about movements and circulation, Catman. Okay, Catman, you got to worry about movement and circulation. Okay, movement and circulation. Oh, Bob White was a female. Okay, gotcha. All right, look, don't be coming on here with all these crazy ass names. All right, because I'm gonna see Bob, and that I'm gonna just call you a man because you got a man name, Bob. All right. Now, anyway, even though you're male and female, you're still two different models. I wouldn't have known that unless you told me, but I can still see the difference because of the model. So I'm gonna come at you different. Now that 3 is self-control. Catman, you got self-control issues, and that self-control is gonna make you prone to digestive issues as well. So you could be looking at gallbladder issues, pancreas issues, high blood sugar issues. You could be looking at liver issues, or just digestive system issues as a whole. Self-control, because it's a 3, is gonna be the spiritual thing that you need to deal with, Catman. All right, you got that straight, Cat? Everything else is the same. You're still in the physical side of life, Catman. You're still going to require more physical fitness until you get on over here into your 70s and 80s over here is when you're going to get into your spiritual time. Hopefully you don't run down the body because over here in the spiritual realm, you're not going to necessarily need more physical energy, but you're going to need more spiritual energy. Okay? But you need to make sure that that transition, you understand that, and that'll happen at 80, 90 years old, your transition. Okay. Catman said, yup, movement issues, circulation issues. Yeah, Catman. Prone to it. Here's the thing. I just gave you a very, 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 I'm talking about, I gave y'all the smallest of information about all this stuff. Okay? Because I basically just wanted to show you about how you track yourself on this system so you guys can see that. All right? But at the end of the day, to me, it's about the real path, the real pathway to enlightenment, the real pathway to health. You know, everybody been trying to teach us enlightenment without the health factor. How did this shit make me live longer and be healthier? Well, first of all, it has to make you mentally stronger. It has to make you spiritually more valuable. It got to make you spiritually, you got to grow up your self-esteem, right? You can't be talking about you're a goddess and a queen and a this and a that, and you can't tap into nothing to get you out of the situation. You know, a lot of y'all, I be hearing y'all tell me about you're tired of working for this man and that man, you're tired of this and tired of that. Where your power at? If your job stressing you out, quit that shit. Fuck it, quit. Where your power at? If these drugs and alcohols and all this stuff is making you sick, quit. Where's your power at? You can't tell me and convince me that you only got power to make yourself sick, but you ain't got the power to heal. You can't convince me that. I don't know where y'all getting that, convincing that, but you can't convince me that the only thing that you can do is be a detriment to yourself and you can't pick yourself up off your bootstraps. I don't believe it. I believe that you have the power to be a detriment to yourself, but you also have a power to be a asset to yourself. And you just got to know how to tap into positive energy, tap into healing energy, tap into wealth. It's all the same, man. You should never go to a wealth person and talk wealth and then go to another person talking health. Wealth and health is the same conversation. Agriculture or gardening terminologies is the only thing that you need to use to grow your wealth and your health. If you know how to grow a plant, baby, you know how to grow wealth. It's perseverance. It's perseverance, it's meditation, it's focus, it's concentration. If you can't concentrate, you can't meditate, you can't get to that higher echelon of consciousness. If you can't concentrate, meaning if you got to focus on concentrating, then you can't, and you can't, then that means that you can't meditate. If you can't concentrate, you can't meditate, you can't get to the most high. You can get to level 10, but that ain't the most high. If you can't concentrate, then you can't meditate. And if you can't meditate, then you can't get there. If you can't sleep, you can't get there. And if you can't sleep and if you can't meditate, then self-healing probably not the thing that you need to be looking at. You're going to need to be dependent on somebody knowing you as well as you know yourself to help you. Okay? You cannot heal yourself. You cannot heal yourself if you can't concentrate and you can't sleep. Because it's in those two things that you're going to tap into the healing qualities that's produced in you. And the healing quality that's produced in you, an actual thing that's produced in you, is called melatonin. Okay, melatonin. All right. My mother is 10/4/51. 10/4/51. So that's a good date. But that means that she's a what, 9/21 to 10/21? So 9/21 to 10/21. Let me put it up here real quick. I forget the birthday. I deal with so many birthdays. If y'all could just understood how many numbers I deal with every day, I be getting everything mixed up. I get everything mixed up nowadays, but with all these numbers. Okay. So 10/4/51. 10/4/51 is somebody's mama. Obviously, they love their mama. And obviously, they feel like I can help bring some kind of understanding. So I always like to be love with love. When people bring me their loved ones, I show them some love back. All right. That don't mean I'm gonna do everybody, but for some reason, something told me to stop to do this one. 9/21 to 10/21 is a Libra. Okay. So off the rip, mama is right here as far as the destination. The starting line is the finish line. Okay. Your starting line is your finish line. So mama needs to end back up at Libra. Right. Okay. Now, right now, where she's at is 51. That makes her what, 68 years old? I mean, I'm sorry, 60, 70. She's 74, or she'll be 74, so 73. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and 3 years. So she's 3 years into her Taurian phase. Okay. So right now she's in the physical side, the body side of life. The first part of life, she was all in the spiritual. So hopefully she didn't run her body down. Okay. So she's in a more time now that's going to require more physical fitness. So hopefully she didn't run her body down during this time. So that because this time is going to require for her to fit. If she's not, she probably won't make it out of this time. It's going to keep it how it is. Okay. This is going to require more physical energy. And if she ain't got it, this might be the time. All right. Now, with that being said, what model? Model is 10 and 4, which is 14. So that's 4 plus 1 is 5. So out of these two numbers right here, we got 5. 15 and 1 is 16. All right. So that's 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 5 again is going to be 12. All right. So that's going to make model number 3. 2 plus 1. She's a 3. We already know that because she's a Libra. That's an air sign. Every Libra is an Aries, so that's the fire. She's a model number 3. Boom. So mama has self-control issues too. Then that 3. Digestive issues, gallbladder, pancreas, liver, digestive issues, high blood sugar, self-control issues spiritually can be a predominantly spirit that's on mama. Self-control issues. Now, because she's also born in the middle deacon of Libra, mama wants to have to look out for her bowels. Okay? Her bowels and migraines. She could be prone to having migraines all the time. Okay? Her bowels, migraines, and self-control issues and digestive issues, just to name a little bit. based on what you told me. If you guys want the foods and the herbs for mama, if you want the herbal blend, if you want the food she need to eat, if you want the lifestyle activities she need to live, then just reach out to me, DM me for a funky measly $50. We'll get you everything that mama needs to get her back in balance with nature. How can I heal a spinal fusion that after effects of the injury? All right. So anytime that you're trying to heal bone, and anytime that you're trying to heal uh, blood and blood cells and all that type of stuff, automatically you need to be looking at 3 to 4 months or more. I would say three. I would say 4 to 6 months. 4 to 6 months. The best thing to do is rest. Amana. Amana alien. The best thing to do is rest. Anytime that you have the body going up under these particular surgeries and treatments and these types of issues that y'all got going on, and they going in and out of your body, opening your body up and doing all this stuff, the best I can tell you to do is rest. Remember that if you can't concentrate, then you can't meditate. And if you can't concentrate, you can't sleep. So sleep and meditation is the way to the healing, but you got to be able to do that. And unfortunately, when you get the diagnosis, when you get all these issues, it's hard for you to rest. Okay. Yaisha, did you hear that? Yaisha, did you get everything? Self-control issues, digestive issues, bowel issues, and migraine. Does she need more help? She can DM me and get her owner's mail. It was 4 years ago, nerves and muscles. hmm right before that, like a little bit, maybe a year before that, okay, a year before that, you were there some attachment issues going on? Amana, I know you said 4 years ago the nerves and muscles, but maybe a year before the nerves and muscle thing. Were you having any sleep issues, any mood swings, any nervous conditions going on? Were there any? I'm more or less looking at a big hit to your sleep pattern, maybe a year before this. A big hit to your sleep, a big hit to your mood. Okay. Was there a vitamin D diagnosis? Did somebody tell you you were vitamin D deficient a year before these nerves and stuff start going bad? So you say 4 years ago, but I'm looking at the 5 year window, that fifth year, that first year before everything. It was a work injury, but my mom passed about a year after. Oh, it was a injury to your mom or injury to you. So it was a work injury, but what I'm saying, it was an injury to you, something that you had at work, right? But a year before you had the work injury, you were having some nervous issues. Amana. A year before you did that at work, you were having some nervous system issues. You were having some sleep issues and something going on with your nervous system before this happened at work. I'm telling you. And it happened about a few months to a year before this incident happened to you at work. You were already having some nervous system stuff. Where is the book? Yeah, and then she just said, yeah, and they told me I was vitamin D deficient. Vitamin D deficiency lets me know that you wasn't getting enough sleep. It's not enough sunlight. Vitamin D deficiency is from enough sleep. The two things that make you sleep is sleep and sun. So sometimes they can miscalculate the other one or the other. So they're gonna tell you you vitamin D deficient due to sunlight. Long as sun getting into your eyes and getting into your face, you absorbing sun. So very seldom are we not getting no goddamn sun because you got to wake up. You wake up and your eyes open, you're absorbing sun. If the sun hitting your skin in any kind of way, you are absorbing that sun. So vitamin D deficiency ain't really what they telling you. It ain't about the lack of sunlight, it's the lack of sleep. I'm telling you what I know. That's why I asked you about vitamin D, even though we talking about nerves, the nerves in your back. Why did HerbMan go to vitamin D, talking about the nerves in the back? Because we're talking about the pineal. When we're talking about the pineal, we're talking about your ability to receive sunlight, one thing, but also biological clock, meaning your sleep and awake cycle. And I'm thinking that your sleep and awake cycle was broken before you went to work. And I'm gonna tell you this about it, and ain't nobody ever told you that. Had that accident due to the fact of sleep deprivation and also for the fact of your nervous condition. Amanda, your nervous condition made you have the accident. The accident ain't the reason for the nervous condition. The nervous condition is the reason for the accident. Okay? But you just if you want more information, if you want the herbs, if you want all that type of stuff, yeah, then go ahead and DM me. We'll get you what you need. I got the vitamin D diagnosis, but I get plenty of sleep. You think so? Use a 942. You think so? How many hours of sleep did you get in 942? Everybody think they're doing the right thing. If you were doing the right thing, you wouldn't have a problem. You ain't nowhere in the world you could be doing the right thing with a vitamin D deficiency. There's no way. Either they lying or either you lying. And since I ain't over there at your doctor's office, we're gonna prove that you ain't alive first. So how much sleep do you think you getting the way you think you're getting plenty of sleep? Okay? Keep tapping the screen, you guys. Let's get us up to 100K. You're correct. I worked in the jail, lack of sleep and sun. I know, Amanda. I know. I already know I'm correct. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to show you that not only will this pinpoint everything going on in life, but it will also help you with the remedies, right? The remedies are the most important thing. All right, so 942 said they get over 8 hours of sleep. Okay, so right here, if you look at the equinox, equal day and night, which means that there's 12 hours a day and 12 hours of night, right? Anytime that we're in the equinox, right? Spring means that the equinox is equal day and equal night. It's only different when it gets to the solstices. So in the summer and the winter, things are a little different, but in the spring and fall, 12 hours, 12 hours, right? So 24 hours is in a day. 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night. Okay. 100% of 12, we're gonna do that. So we'll say 25% of 12 is 4 hours, equals 25%. 8 hours equals 50%. Well, no, not 8 hours, I'm sorry. It'll be 3 hours. Hours is 25%. 6 hours is 50%. 9 hours is 75%. 12 hours, 100%. So use a 942, say over 8 hours. So you wake up every day at 75% battery charge. You wake up every day at 75% battery charge. Okay. So your battery ain't dead, but it ain't fully charged. Okay. If you're waking up every day at 75% battery charge, are you fully charged or not? Are you fully charged? No, you're not. You're working on 75% fuel, 75% battery, 75% this, 75% that. So you're not getting as much sleep as you may think that you are. Now, when you don't get that as much sleep as you think that you are, that means off the rip, that means that your sleep to wake cycle is imbalanced. Because that means that you are, if you get, we just gonna say using 942, get 9 hours worth of sleep. Okay. 9 hours worth of sleep out of 24 hours. Who wins? Awake or sleep? Using 942 is getting 9 hours of sleep out of 24 hours. Who wins? Awake or sleep? Or is he balanced? 942. Awake or sleep? Who wins? You get 9 hours out of 24 hours. Awake wins. They ain't want to say it why now, but awake wins. And awake winning meaning that you are still sympathetic, meaning that you're still sympathetic, you're still burning energy. which means that also you're imbalanced, and that's why you have a diagnosis. Thank you, using 942. Okay, just wanted you to get that because I use natural phenomena in order to put this to you, so we can get out of all that doctor's talk and get into more nature's talk to understand what numbers should be based on nature, not based on man's findings, not based on Galen's findings from 1,000 years ago. Okay, so that's all 942. Okay, so that's why you would have that. Okay, that's why that diagnosis would be there. Another thing that you want to look out for too is your calcium levels. Some of you guys can have vitamin D deficiency because you got calcium deficiency. Okay, now if you got calcium deficiency, it's going to be because you're too acidic. Acidic, which means that you are spewing out calcium bicarbonate, which is your most alkaline substance that the kidneys can produce to help dissolve the acidity in the blood. Right, so you start having this scenario where you're robbing the pay Paul. You start robbing the body of calcium. So a lot of you guys can be calcium deficient, which can then start to go into vitamin D deficiency. So watch your bones on that level. Oh yeah, I know you're here to learn 942. That's why that was a good question, and that's why I stopped and made sure that we walked you through. You know what I'm saying? Walked you through that, right? 942 said nail on the head. Okay, what you had, the calcium deficiency. 11/12/1968. 11/12/1968. So from 10/21 to 11/21 is going to make you a Scorpio, right? So 11/12 is in the third decan of Scorpio. So you want to watch out for your hormones. Okay, you want to watch out for your hormones, and you want to watch out for your ears. Something about your hearing. Okay, something about your hearing. Who was that put that up there? Big Jess. Something about your hearing, Big Jess, and your hormones. Oh, that's my mama. Okay. Now we can also help mama with a lot of other stuff, but it's the hearing and it's the hormones that mama got to look out for the most. Almost to 100K. Thank you guys. High uric acid. Yeah. So when you got that high uric acid like that, then obviously you could be having a tendency to get gout. Okay. But what you do is you look at that uric acid and you break down uric. Right. Uric is a thing that we're going to create, but why isn't it passing through the kidney? So now is the kidney problem. But if the kidneys may be a problem because if I got high uric acid, then I'm utilizing the kidneys to create that high calcium bicarbonate for that uric acid, and it's just gonna rob Peter to pay Paul. Okay, okay, thank you. She has high blood pressure. Okay, got high blood pressure, but she ain't dealing with no um hormone issues or no hearing issues. Yes, none that you know of. I don't want mama to deal with. I'm just asking. I'm 11/14/77 is mine the same as the person you just spoke about. 11/14. As far as those big two things, yes, it's gonna be hormones and hearing, but it could be some other stuff like mama dealing with high blood pressure, right? So if you guys are wanting to get your owner's manual, the herbal blend to get owner's manual, all you got to do to get your owner's manual is either go to your local herbalist, get the herbs, or you can either have us ship them to you, and we'll ship your own specialized blend out to you. Okay, so that's the difference. But everything comes in the owner's manual. So it doesn't matter what conditions you got going on. If it's in your owner's manual, those herbs, those foods, and those activities will help you dispel not only the spiritual ailments, but also the physical ones as well. Describe hormone issues. Oh, the hormone issues, they so varied, Big Jess. Hormone issues are, I mean, what do you mean describe them? Menopause is a hormone issue. PMS is a hormone issue. PCOS is a hormone issue. Anything dealing with your hormones. My son has his native gland. He's drinking it cold, okay? I would suggest you drink it hot, okay? I would suggest I like hot tea. I've never drunk any of these herbs cold. There are some cold beverages you can have with teas, but the native blend, I would suggest you do it hot. How to balance the uric acid? The only way to balance the uric acid is to first of all see why the uric acid is fluctuating the way that it is. So is it diet? Is it what you're thinking? Is it what you're doing? Is it how you're feeling? We have to put a hula hoop on why. Most of you guys, it's your diet, right? You got self-control issues, right? Because a lot of people who dealing with uric acid issues, dealing with gout, also dealing with blood sugar issues, et cetera, et cetera. All I already know is certain meats that you're not supposed to have, okay? And you've been on medication so long that you've damaged your kidneys, and now the urine, right, is not being able to come out of the body, which is keeping acids in the body instead of coming out. And then that means that you can have a kidney filtration problem, you can have a food problem, you can have a medication problem that puts your kidneys down. You can just be too acidic, that's causing your kidneys to create that calcium bicarbonate that we talked about. It's a lot of things of how you can, but in order to balance it, you must get the root cause. And what I'm gonna say spiritually, dealing with uric acid is self-control issues. That's the root cause for me, self-control. Yes, she is going through menopause. Okay, Big Jess, that's what I was trying to tell you. That's what's going to be the real main things right there, is because when you're dealing with blood pressure, you're dealing with menopause, you're dealing with blood. Okay, so tell her to get our owner's manual. Let us go ahead and help her out real quick without doing all that guesswork. I love what you're sharing. I have never stopped in. I think I need some of your help in my life. Well, I appreciate you, Karma. Anytime, any place, you can holler at us. You can DM me if you need anything, and we'll be at your service. How can I help deal with polyps? Remember, I told you about polyps, you guys. Remember we talked about that. Remember we talked about how anxiety and all this stuff starts to deal with these polyps. Okay, there is a major herb that I always tell you guys about, which is thuja, which is called tree of life. When you're looking at the Bible and they told you not to eat from the tree of good and knowledge, and the tree of life is there. You got the tree of life in the cerebellum. It's called the arbor vitae. There's an herb called arbor vitae, which is called white cedar. In other words, in Indian Ayurvedic, they call it thuja, Thja. So maybe look for that for polyps and all that type of stuff. But basically, what a polyp is a pituitary gland issue. So delusion and loneliness, 80, 80 geobone. 80 geobone. Okay. Delusion and loneliness can be agitating the pituitary gland, creating a growth factor, making you grow inside your body in places that you don't need to be grown. Look at your pituitary gland, but more importantly, look at your spiritual unction when it comes to delusion and loneliness. Remember, I was just telling that person about it. Delusion and loneliness, the eyes, water in the eyes, cataracts, glaucoma, okay, blurred vision. These are things about your eyes, these are things about your pituitary gland. Anytime you see growth and development on the body, acne, boils, polyps, fibroids, endometriosis, uh, any kind of tumor, whatever, pituitary gland, it's the control of growth and development. Do you do one-on-one with the owner's manual? Yes, you guys can save my contact, download WhatsApp, because we're coming live from South Africa right now. I'm in South Africa. So you're going to have to save the contact, download WhatsApp, and then we can correspond that way. You can call me between the times of 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. If not, we can correspond via text, via email, if you don't want to do a call. All you got to do is DM me, Sankofa. DM me to get the owner's manual. I am definitely going to get my $50. You was on point 80. Oh, I appreciate you guys very much, man. Look, we come on here live every day from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm past my time right now. I appreciate all of your 100,000 likes that we got during the live, man. I appreciate your love, your support. All we're trying to do here is give you guys a nugget. That nugget is you can do it. And you just need to know how to do it. I know we've been teaching you what not to do. I know we've been trying to teach you about what to try, but we need to start learning how to heal ourselves. And hopefully you'll see that this is the place that you can learn to do that, man. I love you guys, man. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time, HerbMan. Peace, you guys. We love you. We love you. We love you. I would like to heal my kidneys. First thing you got to do, Geronimo, is you got to get out of stress, fear, and instability.
stress, fear, and instability is the spiritual cause for your kidneys going on a demise. If you're willing and ready to handle the spiritual things, we can help you get your kidneys back in order physically. All you got to do is DM us. Let us get you that on this man. Okay? Because hormone problem cause hearing issues and tinnitus. Um, Marlene Ritchie. The only way that's going to happen, Marlene, is if you are a Scorpio or a Taurus. Okay, if you are a Scorpio born in the third decan, you can have hormonal issues and hearing issues. If you are a Taurus born in the third decan, you can have hearing issues and hormonal issues. So I don't know if you're a Taurus or you're a Scorpio, Marlene. Okay, but it just by people, period, yeah, anybody can get anything, and we can categorize it and we can demise it for you. Damn, you go look. Okay, well, I can't look while I'm on here. We about to get off here. I appreciate all of you guys. Peace. Thank you, YouTube, man, for all the love. Peace. Yes, sir, YouTube, for hanging on. We got you.